What's going on, Squirrel Squad? Welcome back to the Look Squirrel YouTube channel. I am the Squirrel, and today we're doing Touching Cloth. This is a Mitchell and Webb piece. It is Mitchell and Webb Monday, and a lot of people from time to time have yelled out, "Do Touching Cloth," you know, and they don't really yell it out, they type it out, but I imagine them yelling it, "Do Touching Cloth." Anyway, for whatever reason, I keep missing it, and I remembered. So proud of myself. Anyway, if it's your first time here, we do a little Mitchell Webb on Monday. We do some comedy pieces throughout the week. We learn a little bit about each other. We learn about some culture. And we learn about some music over on the other side of Squirrel on the other channel. Either way, whichever way you want to do it, stick around, hit the button, and let's do this. Touching Cloth by Mitchell and Webb.
Oh, well, that's brilliant. Thank you. Great news, guys. The bank have agreed the loan.
Oh, that's great.
So now we can go ahead and start up our own dry cleaning business.
Great! No more working for other dry cleaners. Finally, we can really go it alone.
So, the last thing to decide is, what should we call it?
Well, I think it should definitely be a funny name.
Yeah, a funny name, like a hairdresser's that's called Fringe Benefits or A Cut Above.
So what would one for a dry cleaning shop be?
Well, I've had a thought, actually. I mean, I think it's funny. It's certainly a phrase I've heard, but I'm just not quite sure what it means. It's touching cloth.
Oh, great. Touching cloth. Yeah, that's certainly a phrase I've heard.
It's got a ring to it, hasn't it? Touching cloth.
So what does it mean?
Well, obviously part of what it means is what we would be doing. You know, as dry cleaners, we'll spend most of our day touching cloth.
Yeah, yes, and of course our customers who bring in their clothes for us to dry clean, they'll all be touching cloth as well. You know, as they hand the clothes over, they'll be touching cloth.
Well, great, that all works out brilliantly.
And what's more, what I think will make it funny is that I think that touching cloth has a double meaning. It's just, I'm not quite sure what it is.
Right, well, that's great, but I think it's probably quite important that we find out exactly what the other meaning of touching cloth might be before we call the sign right or get the notepaper printed.
Yeah, does anybody know what the other meaning of touching cloth is?
I know.
Oh, great. Is it funny?
Yes, it is. It is funny.
What is it?
Well, when you're touching cloth, what you're doing is that you so need a poo that you've sort of started to poo yourself.
I was hoping, I'm like, I hope it means the same thing. Because, like, I always think about fanny. And to us over here, you know, they're like, you'll say to a little kid, like, I'm going to get your fanny, you know, whatever. And you tap him on the butt, whatever. And then I found out it's something totally different over in the UK. So I'm glad it's the same. Touching cloth.
But you've managed to stop at the point where a bit of the poo is actually touching the cloth at the inside of your pants.
Oh, right. I had no idea there was a name for that.
That is funny. And it's funny because it involves poo.
Yes, it is very funny.
My only slight worry is the association of getting poo on clothes, which I agree is funny. Is that association appropriate for a business such as dry cleaning, which is, after all, supposed to be about getting clothes clean?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think it's really a problem.
Yeah, you can worry too much about these things.
And the way I see it, there's an upside. Because the message we'll be sending out is, even if you have got poo on your clothes, we can handle it. In fact, we could call it touching cloth ? Touching cloth? Then step this way.
I really like that.
I don't know what happened to it at the end. The last few frames were kind of a little janky there, but that was touching cloth. That's pretty funny. It was like leading in. They're like, "Oh yeah, what are we gonna name it?" I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go. Oh no." I'm glad touching cloth means the same to you guys, because as soon as you said it, I was like, "Oh, that's great." But then if touching cloth meant something different, that would have been weird. But anyhow, it didn't. Either way, I enjoyed that. These guys are great. They come up with some of the coolest little wordsmith things. They're like, "Oh, what can we do with Maxwell House coffee?" And then they come up with some kind of, you know, it's a cool. I think it's a pretty cool way that they reverse engineer their ideas for the sketches. So lots of credit due there for sure for them and their writing team and their writers. Mitchell and Webb, touching cloth. I finally did it. The video, not the cloth touching. Anyway. Oh boy. All right, I gotta go. That just means I have to end the video because it's time. Because otherwise, I'm going to sit here all night and talk to myself and you. But you're not talking back because you're not seeing this till tomorrow. Scroll up.